Good evening, everyone. Daniel Miller here. How are you all doing? Thank you for coming and joining my Destiny broadcast yet again tonight on this cold Friday night in London. As you know, today is a very big day for the gaming community. We have two very major launches, and one of those we already talked about at length earlier in my broadcasts. And today we are celebrating the release of Resident Evil 2 Remake. As you know, the game has been offered through a very sharp, atmospheric and scary demo, which was called One Shot Demo, and I misunderstood the banner, and I thought one shot was to be basically that I didn't have to die, or I should simply survive throughout the demo, as there were no save points. But what it meant was you will get one shot at doing it, which means once the 30 minutes expired, you could no longer play even a second of the demo. So I tried it, and I streamed it the other night. We had quite a few community members coming in and having a course. I can literally play the game at will, and if I pre-ordered or bought it today, as everyone could preload the game and then play it as from 2400 hours last night. One of our community members, Matthias, was streaming the game last night. Hope you guys watched the stream. We both played Destiny at length during my last night's broadcast, and indeed I was directing everyone to Matthias to watch this beautiful new game. As you know, if successfully received by the community, Resident Evil 2 Remake may well be paving the way for many other games to be redone and literally created from scratch, which would obviously bring all those beautiful distant worlds of the 90s and the early part of the last decade to us all on consoles and PC. And as you could see on the demo, Resident Evil 2 is beautifully remade. They're using a quite a separate technique, through which you have over-the-shoulder camera, and then really the 4K image resolution as well as in-depth sound quality are bringing out all of that fear which you would experience in those various areas of Resident Evil world. You get very scared when actually you are entering certain rooms and you cannot see any of the enemies, but you can hear them, and the eerie silence sometimes with certain noises can make you jump. I really absolutely loved the demo, and I hope that lots of you bought the game, pre-ordered it, and indeed that you're all playing it today and enjoying it as much as I did enjoy the demo. The other big release today is the VIP access to Anthem demo, and in fact they could have said, or they could have really created some greater clarity on the access, because the VIP access to the demo means that you can basically play it during this weekend, literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday, before it expires, and you have the first access, basically the privileged access compared to everyone else who is going to be joining the pool of gamers on the next weekend, starting on Friday the 1st of February. And if you were obviously watching my news and following some of my announcements, you probably would realize that Anthem is going to be the next big game streamed in here, in addition to Destiny. As you know, the backbone of this channel is Destiny, but Anthem is a game that is described to be quite similar. In fact, the industry insiders describe it as Destiny meeting Mass Effect, and as you know, we are very keen on watching that merger. Mass Effect trilogy is one of my favorite games of all times, and indeed I love Destiny, so having those two worlds together, joined with perhaps some extra spices and elements, will make my life much more worthwhile. And currently I'm also running a small donor campaign for my Anthem streams, so if you are interested and if you want to support both the channel and the Twitch Online Entrepreneurs, you can donate through Streamlabs. And you can also donate through the use of bits and cheers and all the other niceties here on Twitch. But I run a separate donor campaign because I do need some extra revenue in order to support a lengthier Anthem stream, which I want to be delivering on the Legion of Dawn edition the top tier edition currently offered and available. So in view of the fact that the VIP demo was released today, I had spent a lot of time today and yesterday analysing all the ins and outs of the industry reactions, which would have been transpiring since yesterday. I watched a lengthy IGN stream in which two producers from BioWare, Sila Costa and Jen Chevery, were participating in the world premiere of Anthem demo gameplay. And I must say the discussion was certainly very, very interesting and illuminating, as well as the gameplay which we watched. Sometimes I find it a bit disconcerting when you have 6 screens on display at once and you're kind of trying to find out whether to watch what appears to be the gameplay or whether you want to see the character who's telling you something about the game or anything else. But regardless, the contents were very interesting and I thoroughly enjoyed the gameplay and all the producers had to say. So there are actually a few things which I wish to point out to my community members. First of all, the conclusion is that the demo is going to be very interesting even on the second go when you enter it for the second week running. The demo is accessible for 3 days alone, which means you have to be playing it between Friday and Sunday, and then you will be able to re-enter on the following weekend. So everyone who has the VIP access is basically a gamer who would have pre-ordered, or indeed a gamer who is a member of EA Access, Origin Access community. As you know, this is a special community which is allowing everyone to be viewing and playing EA games on Xbox One. And therefore, if you are one of those gamers, then indeed you already would have received your free access and your codes. For everyone else, we are going to be doing it next weekend, and we have Captain Jack coming in saying that Anthem demo is not going too well, plagued by many problems. And I can certainly say that I've had quite a few messages indicating the same. In fact, I can confirm I've had some problems with Anthem demo earlier this week where I was trying to test it. But I think lots of these problems are server related because, as expected, very many people are trying to access the game and play it today on its first worldwide premiere, and therefore the servers perhaps are facing outages and suffering. That is indeed of concern and disappointing, but I just want to come back to the overview of what I've seen in various presentations. First of all, the demo is being released as VIP for this weekend. The demo played this weekend is going to be identical to the other, which is offered on the second weekend starting on the 1st of February. So there's no difference whatsoever in the content. However, I have to tell you that I was very pleasantly surprised to discover that the demo does have about 6 to 8 hours of content. So that is massive. And generally, the demos offered by major developers are usually brief. But in this instance, you're offered several levels, and you can literally try all of those ins and outs of the gameplay at length. And what's particularly interesting is that they pointed out that whoever is doing it this weekend and is obviously acquiring some save points and wanting to explore the area and travel and fly around a bit more, all of that can be then accomplished on the second weekend. So all the saves and everything done on the initial release of the demo during this weekend indeed can be also accessed after the 1st of February for another 3-day period. As the demo period ends on the 3rd of February, we are no longer going to be able to access it, and we are not going to be able to use the same points later for the gameplay once we access it in full, once the game is released, as you know, on the 22nd of February. The other thing which I find interesting is, although I have to say the producers were keeping cards close to their chest about literally everything, was a statement given by one of the producers that they are considering cross-platform play. Well, I have to say this is very important. If there is one thing that has been perhaps of concern to me with Destiny, was that we did not have that ability, I should say facility, from the word go, and it still is not present today. They said that they're working in order to accommodate cross-platform play, which may not happen literally at the onset on the launch date, but certainly within the first period of a few months, this is looking to be very, very likely. Therefore, I applaud this decision. I think it will be certainly making it much easier for the community members and streamers alike. We do know that frequently, as Twitch streamers, we get requests from people who are playing the game on a separate platform. In this instance, as you know, I'm doing Destiny on PlayStation 4, but I do get lots of people coming in requesting Fireteam members for PC and for Xbox. Xbox, in fact, was particularly difficult because lots of people were looking for their friends and associates to come in for raids and strikes, and they couldn't find anyone. So I posted quite a few messages on my Twitter, and I'm pleased to say that some people did find some of their new teammates through those postings, which was brilliant, and I thank everyone for supporting that effort, for sharing, and obviously for liking those posts and bringing in the friends. But if we are looking at Anthem and we consider that Anthem is going to have cross-platform play in due course, well, that is going to be bringing the community together. I know that some of the hardcore gamers are concerned about this because frequently they feel that the players on PC may well have somewhat greater scope in terms of how they're using controls, perhaps therefore advantage over others when it comes to aiming and shooting and some of the competitive multiplayer games. But on the other hand, if we are looking at the way the community works, the streaming community, we certainly can say that joining people together is what really counts the most. And we've seen many people coming in here to my channel, the gamers who are playing across all three platforms, and then coming in and contributing with the comments and views. Obviously, this can be enhanced if the same people can join in within the same arena, such as, for instance, what we have with Fortnite. Fortnite brings in people from everywhere, and therefore people can join in and talk, and so the community then gets bigger and more vibrant and indeed more connected. And I think this is what I definitely do want to see with Anthem as well. There were other things said which were related to javelin suits, to the enemies, to the exploration of the vast open world which Anthem is going to bring us. And then I was particularly interested to hear that they were remarking on the words which they called the Destiny jargon. Well, those words were specifically connected to strikes and then to raids. The questions coming in on Twitter for the producers were, are you going to have something which is similar to raids in Destiny? Because we really like those the best. They're literally the highlight of the entire game. He said they're not calling them raids at the moment, but they are going to be such difficult missions towards the end of separate sections of the game. They didn't really reveal exactly what this is going to look like, so I guess it is going to be a surprise, but definitely it feels difficulty level. And also they pointed out if the gamer wants to be starting out on a hard or very hard difficulty level, then the kit and the weapons which they will get as well as the rewards are going to be much higher and of greater use for the player later in the game. So these are the news on Anthem which I acquired through my various presentations which I watched. I overall feel quite encouraged and elated by all seen and heard. I know people have lots of concerns about javelin suits and the tech and various other bits and pieces, but let's see how this weekend unravels. They had some technical problems today. The servers were facing outages and therefore people couldn't easily access the demo as expected. But by the end of the day, or I should say halfway through the afternoon, I did see that lots of my community members and streamers were indeed able to access the demo, and they were doing the streams and introducing the contents to the rest of the world. In fact, I did watch a few of them and I found them really very entertaining and greatly amusing, because obviously some more experienced gamers on some other games such as PUBG and Battle Royale and Fortnite and Destiny, Call of Duty were then struggling with obviously some of the basics as they are starting out with the Anthem world for the first time. So I think that is always refreshing to see, and always something that I like viewing, because it brings in a selection of challenges to everyone who is otherwise a very experienced video gamer. Video gaming is all about connectivity and communication. In fact, I had a few people coming in last night and then asking about Crucible and competitive multiplayer. And as you know, this channel is definitely not geared for that. We are here to have a lot of fun, to talk in an educated way about video games and the industry overall. We have a serious approach to video gaming, treating the entire media as a form of modern art. And we have lots of great community members coming in, providing us with knowledge and advice on those fields every single day. Competitive multiplayer and competition is something which belongs to other channels, which are focused on scoring and competitive leveling and gameplay. So coming back to what we do here, we are going to be proceeding with our Destiny tonight, and we are going to be continuing with my Titan, my new character. As you know, I started on Titan during the last couple of days. But just to summarize on Anthem, as you know, the campaign which I'm running is still ongoing, and I'm hoping that we are going to be acquiring some donations and funds for our future Anthem broadcasts, which are going to be starting at the end of February. So I'm looking forward to those indeed, and I'm quite curious to see how our communities are going to be building or merging or even connecting, because I know that lots of people who are in love with Destiny and Halo are keeping eyes on Anthem as well. But you know, so far so good, I could say, and let's hope that our communities are indeed going to join hands. So if you are interested in my Anthem broadcast, you can support me either by donating through Streamlabs directly. You find the link on my profile, Twitch profile that is, or indeed you can access them through Instagram and Twitter. Or if you wish to support through the use of bits and cheers, then please do. There are those emotes which you purchase here, and then you can use them either on this or any other channel when watching the gameplay and throwing in your comments through chat. They are one of the most popular forms of support, and I truly appreciate and I'm truly grateful to everyone who already had purchased them. I had quite a few people provide me with those donations, and in addition to that, I can see that there are people also donating for Anthem broadcasts directly through Streamlabs. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But thank you from the bottom of my heart, knowing that you're supporting both this channel and the future Anthem broadcast. As you know, the idea is to connect such games with the game developer and also through the platform on which the games are being played. So in this instance, we are talking about PlayStation 4, we're talking about Bungie, we're talking about BioWare, and I indeed will be looking forward to establish closer ties to those entities. So once we establish those, as you know, this is a new channel, everything's just literally in progress and growing. We are going to be having perhaps some other guests coming in and doing some chats with us and discussing ins and outs of those games as well. So coming back to tonight, as I said, it is a very good night for Resident Evil and for Anthem gaming, but we are sticking to our schedule, which is of Destiny, and we are going to be carrying on with gameplay. I've come already to the level 40 with my Titan. I have 381 light. Last night, Matthias and me were doing the Nightfall Strike, which was actually very, very difficult. We had 3 Scions as bosses at the end, and they all had to be killed in sequence, and we were successfully completing that at the end. And we didn't have to replay it even once, so that was a great success. We did play it for quite a while though, because it was a very, very difficult strike. And then after that also we played some Siva Heroics, and we were doing some weekly story play missions, as well as myself by prior to the co-op gameplay online. I had completed quite a number of story missions related to Titan as well. So it's been a very, very good, very hectic night, and we are going to be continuing with this tonight as well, wanting for Titan to progress as far as possible. And coming back to the Destiny world and the plans for this channel, we have been doing now Destiny broadcasts ever since the initiation of the DRBMiller channel from the first day. And the idea was simply to try it out to see what the response was going to be. And I have to say, I'm absolutely overjoyed to see that we generated such a great number of followers and people who come and watch the gameplay and participate with our other community members here every day. So the plan as it stands is to complete all 3 characters, to bring them to the top level, and then we are going to be doing strikes and raids, and after that we are going to be focusing on the Destiny 2 world. As you know, I had played Destiny 2 quite a bit and streamed it, completed the base game, had not progressed to Forsaken and all the DLC content, and that is going to be our next task in the near future. On Destiny 2, I will have to also bring 2 other characters. My initial character was Warlock, and I had come to a formidable level with him as well. But then on Destiny 2 we'll be doing a replay of the base game with Hunter and Titan, and indeed we are going to be then engaging with the rest of the content as well. We'll have obviously our community members coming in doing the co-op gameplay, and really a lot to look forward to as time goes by. I also want to be having my characters on Destiny 2 fully equipped, and I want to be going through the annual pass niceties as everyone else. As you know, I've started on Destiny rather late. I've not been like some of the other guys who are doing the game literally from the beta testing days, but I think that in view of the fact that we had lots of Destiny veterans coming here, I was able to progress rapidly forward, learn a lot about my characters and the gameplay overall. So I'm very, very happy with all achieved, and most of all, I'm very happy with the community content which we have here every day in terms of its connectivity and communication. We talk every day, we share our views and our thoughts, and indeed we help each other to the best of our abilities. In fact, got problems with various issues Destiny game related, and I guess we were able to direct them to the appropriate source, particularly one of our community members who had a serious problem with some error messages arising. Unfortunately, we were to establish that these messages were exclusively internet service provider related and nothing at all to do either with his download or his disk. So he was able then to basically get to the right source and resolve the problem. Furry Spiders here. Hello, how are you? Long time no see. Great to see you. Thanks very much for coming back, for watching the channel. Furry Spider says, I can help you with Destiny 1 but not Destiny 2. No worries, sir, no worries. The Destiny world is vast, and I think the way the Bungie is progressing, they are going to be building on that vast universe of Destiny 2 through the annual season pass, and so we are looking forward to see what goodies they will provide us with as we go along. But as you know, I've not spent a lot of time on Destiny 2 because obviously, like everyone else, I like doing things in sequence. If you have a franchise, then you want to start with number 1 and end with number 55 rather than the other way around. The reason is obvious, because when you master the first installment, you will have sufficient knowledge and experience to progress forward, even if there are some tweaks and differences in the later episodes. But still, the knowledge and experience will always help. And what I acquired here from the community members has been very, very considerable, and I've been very, very happy and glad, not just in terms of the gameplay, but also purely in terms of our communication, discussions, and overall connectivity. As you know, online gaming is all about connectivity and communication, and in the future we are also going to be running here some campaigns which are going to be focusing on charitable causes, which is literally one of the targets which I've had set up for myself literally from the onset. And one of the reasons as to why I had set up the channel was basically, first of all, to build a larger community, and then to focus on some noble causes for those amongst us who are perhaps less fortunate. And we are going to be connecting with that world in the near future as well. But step by step we are progressing forward, and without further ado, we've come to the time where we are going to be cracking on with our gameplay. So tonight we are having Destiny 1, and we are going to be playing Titan Human Male, and as you know, the character is going to be played by DRBMiller, in other words, myself. Furry Spider is here saying he's not spending £35 on expansion. Well, to tell you the truth, sir, I had been looking at the Destiny 2 Forsaken Digital Deluxe Edition pack, and I was also considering whether the that particular special edition is going to be reduced during a certain hour, particularly during Black Friday and during the Christmas and January sale. But apparently that did not take place, and the edition had remained priced literally as always. And I guess if you are, like myself, a bit patient, then eventually there will come a time where the prices will drop. So, you know, for myself, it is the question of accessing the annual pass and also some of the goodies which the deluxe edition also provides. But then it's the question of choice. You know, one can be also buying things bit by bit. But overall, if one wants to have the best package, I think the current digital edition, deluxe edition, is probably the best bet, because it does combine the overall content of the game together with the unrestricted, unlimited access to the annual pass. So you get two of those together. They're more expensive, £35. I think they're £60. But you know, it is obviously something that we will have to have in order to access all the new content which Bungie will be providing. We don't have any other means of acquiring it, and I guess there's no alternative. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how I look at it, I think this is the way the industry is progressing. Even earlier I mentioned about Anthem and things said during the world premiere broadcast last night, and I did spot that they were also taking the same direction. The base game is going to be present from the word go, and then they will be developing additional content and bringing in, obviously they'll attempt to bring people in on the annual pass or similar type of game access, which will provide me content. I don't think it's just going to be just DLC, as lots of questions have come the producer's way on how you're going to keep everyone interested after the first 3 or 4 weeks. And obviously they have missions in Anthem which are going to be completed by that period, and they will have to bring in some new content, I believe similar to what Bungie have done already. Alright, so we are coming to our Destiny 1 world and our Titan. Trials of Osiris. Persevere and reap great rewards. Gather fire team to test your skill and teamwork. In the Crucible's greatest test, acquire a Trials passage from the Disciple of Osiris in the Reef to begin your fire team's trial. So this is basically the fire team trial for the co-op and for the multiplayer to come in, as you could see, which is now unlocked. But I had the benefit of my Spark of Light on my first day. I collected this item, I think, with my hunter, kept it in my vault, and then once I started my Titan, I used it. And as you know, Spark of Light is the item that increases the level from 0 to 40 immediately. So I raised the level to 40 by the use of this item, and then after that I just equipped my character, my new Titan, with the best weapons from the vault. Most of those weapons were about 390, between 385 and 390 power level, so obviously my light also went up, and my character was more than ready to combat some of those deadly enemies out there when challenged in adventures. Presently it looks like we have to go back to the tower, and we have to go there because I had an order given to go to the speaker and then debrief him on the mission and perhaps also receive further instructions. So this is what we are going to do next. We are off to the tower, and we'll have to be discussing things and debriefing the speaker. Stand by and then advance to the tower. The beautiful world of Destiny. I was quite surprised when I've seen so many references in the Anthem world premiere last night, which were obviously linked to Destiny. And there were so many references made to the Destiny world, to Destiny jargon, to the Destiny gameplay, and not many to Bungie, but I guess we know as to why. So the games are going to be certainly quite similar, and I think the idea is to really join those two communities together. Very many gamers and streamers who were focused on Destiny have been streaming the VIP demo today. It is actually, to my great surprise, I didn't realize that so many people would be already doing it tonight, and obviously the indication is that all of those guys had pre-ordered and purchased one of those editions, so therefore the VIP demo was made accessible right from the beginning. For everyone else, we are going to be able to play the demo as from next week. To be precise, Friday the 1st of February is the day, And for that, you do not need to be purchasing anything, but you will need to have your PlayStation Plus subscription, because Anthem is solely a multiplayer game, which means you will not be able to play it offline. And so anyone who wants to try that demo will need to have their PlayStation Plus subscription in place as well. Alright, so all the admin was completed yesterday. We don't have to talk to anyone here, but the person we do need to talk to is the speaker, and as we know, he is hiding up here in the tower north. In fact, he has this massive big library which is as full of knowledge as he is.
Just needs the right team.
Oh, that's awesome. The birds. The entire community here feels healthy and alive. And I hate it when at the beginning of Destiny 2 this beautiful world is attacked and destroyed.
Please, Titan, what can I do to help?
Good afternoon, sire. I've come here to debrief you on our last mission.
Your power is greater than when we last met.
Against the Hive. The Hive, awoken Guardian. We must learn their purpose, their plan. I have studied the records within the Dead Ghost. My scout found a place within the Hellmouth, a place called the World's Grave, a great library of Hive knowledge. Seek it out, find the truth. So we have this mission reward, which is called Speaker's Writ, to order for armaments to be taken to the Tower Gunsmith. So we need to go to the gunsmith after collecting this reward.
Good.
The World's Grave is the next mission. We'll quickly have a look in here. 190 defense. Well, there are here some Titan marks which we can use. So that's 393 defense. Well, what we've got already is more powerful than that, so there isn't a need.
Your actions give me hope.
Thank you kindly, sire. I shall be back after another mission. Fear God, honor the king.
The traveler is our past.
So we need to go and speak to the gunsmith, but prior to that we are likely to be acquiring more perks on our striker subclass. Titan Codex is the next one. Training focused on battle recovery and toughness. Training focused on speed and toughness. Battle recovery and toughness is my priority at the moment. So all of those are equipped. And we are ready to talk to the gunsmith.
Yes, Titan.
So it's interesting because many times I walked up and down and never literally looked down here, and one of our community members did bring me here.
Here we are.
And therefore I discovered that Ava Levant was indeed hiding in this tiny little alley. I find it extraordinary that so many times I've gone up and down and never looked up here.
I like the armor, Titan.
Well, I kind of like some of the emblems. Honor of Blades, I'll take.
Well done.
I don't think I have any more space. So let's see. We'll go over there. Honor of Blades. There we go. Put this one on. Looks very beautiful. Lots of other ones which I quite like as well. Don't like that one too much. Omen of the Dead. Traveler's Eclipse. Firm Decree. No Puppet. No Puppet at the night either. Make more space and then we return to Vendor. Quite like this one as well. Bomb Squad. Blessing of the
I
Ancients.
love it.
And Bomb Squad as well, I quite like.
Beautiful.
So
Good luck,
let's
Guardian.
see. Quickly have a look. Let's honor blades, and then this one is Blessing of the Ancients. So we can keep the Blessing of the Ancients on for the time being. Need is another artifact which would really increase my light level, because everything else is quite high up, but this one is way below. Alright, so we are going to get that probably from Tyra at the Iron Temple. And at the moment I didn't actually say goodbye to her.
Guardian.
Thank
please,
you, most
come in,
kindly
come in.
madam. Thank you for all of your emblems and rewards. I will be back after another hard battle.
Guardian.
I remain your obedient servant, madam. Honor God, fear the king. Fear God, honor the king, I should have said. I got it the other way around. Fear God, honor the king. And I'm not even tired. Only started with my broadcast. But I did have a lot of other admin to do earlier today. Just like to invite you to my Twitter and also my Instagram. On Instagram we have some concept art images related to Anthem and Resident Evil 2 Remake, both of which are released today. Well, Anthem released as a VIP demo and Resident Evil as a full game. So if you're into the concept art images, then head to my Instagram, you'll find them there. And on Twitter you'll have lots of news related to everything sort of hot off the press in the industry.
I can take care of that.
And you'll get some announcements and news coming from my associates and Twitch online entrepreneurs, i.e. in other words, streamers. Because my news always combine everything. They combine all the news received from my associates, from other Twitch online entrepreneurs, from other Twitch streamers, as well as from the leading industry members and game developers. So my Twitter is full of news, and it's very, very busy with, you know, all kinds of inclusions every day.
What do you think?
Banshee is here. We are going to talk to him to see whether he is
Let's get you back out there.
going to provide us with another weapon. Well, these weapons really are not particularly useful
Watch where you point that thing.
because we already raised our level higher up. We are going to take some weapon parts,
We done here?
and we'll take another special ammo synthesis as well, so that's good.
Careful out there.
We need to be getting a lot more money as well. Thank you, most kindly sire. I shall be back after another battle. Fear God, honor the king. As you could see, my head is glowing, and Matthias told me yesterday the reason for that
What's
is
the name of that officer?
quite simple. This is a sign that I finished this weekly Nightfall strike
So
successfully.
low. Our rifle jammed.
So anyone who had completed the Nightfall strike will get exactly the same glowing aura around the head. So you could see the glowing aura is up here, which means I finished my Nightfall strike this week together with Matthias. Sekapupu stroke Oidimu is here. Hello Sekapupu, how are you doing? Long time no see. Are you well? Are you still playing Destiny? Grinding Destiny 2, I guess? Or are you playing Anthem VIP demo tonight? Just like all the other Destiny gamers. Perhaps you pre-ordered, perhaps you are doing it together with some of my associates as well.
Oh dear.
So we have completed everything that was to be done here in the tower. Maggie23 is here. Hello Maggie, how are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for coming to my channel. Thank you for being a new member of my community. Hope you will enjoy the content, and hope you will enjoy the discussions which we have here with lots of our Destiny veterans. Good to see you. So before every battle I stand here and look at this beautiful view. I always want to soak up, the emotion before going to those distant planets, because you know what, like with any real life battle, when you go out there to fight wars, you never know whether you're going to come back in one piece or alive. Therefore, thinking of your loved ones, thinking of places and locations which you treasure is going to be of great significance, provide us with a sense of inner nourishment, and it gives us a lot more confidence to face the enemy. So after a few moments of peace and tranquility, we are now going to orbit. Maggie is asking me, do you want to play PvP? Hi Maggie, thank you for coming. You will know from other community members in here, I don't do Crucible, and I don't run a channel which is focused on competitive multiplayer, so unfortunately I will not be able to join in. What we do here is we focus on story missions, we do strikes and consequently raids, and generally engage with lots of other veterans and Destiny community members through the channel. So I'm afraid I'm not able to join you in Crucible. So, but thank you for offering, of course, and thank you for coming and watching the channel. You may well have some other people here who are quite keen, so it's definitely worth asking on chat very frequently. There are some serious PvP Crucible players who also visit my channel, and frequently they find some new team members or people whom they can play against, so definitely worth checking out and asking from time to time. Highly recommended. Alright, so we'll have a look at the next mission. The next mission, if I'm not mistaken, is the one given to us by the speaker, which is called Against the Hive. No? Okay, this one will unpeg. Oidimu says he is going to sleep. Well, thank you for coming, and indeed thank you for saying hello. We've not seen you for a little while, but I guess the reason for that is that I've not been running my morning sessions because my evening sessions have been very lengthy, and therefore I obviously had to sleep. As you know, my evening sessions on average were between 5 and 8 hours, and therefore the morning sessions were not provided recently. And the reason is quite simple. There are lots of people who are Destiny veterans and the community members who are based in the US, and a lot of them are in different time zones, and therefore, because I'm obviously in London, UK, I have to be providing the space and time for those guys to come in and to engage, and therefore I'm unable to do literally 3 different time zones. I can do 2, but doing 3 at once is a bit overbearing for myself. I'm simply not able to complete it. So thank you for coming, Odimu, stroke Sekapupu, and I hope to see you again soon. Hopefully you're going to join us. I just want to know, are you also playing Anthem VIP demo? Have you pre-ordered? Or will you be doing the demo next weekend, just like everyone else? Okay, so we have the mission singled out. So the mission is called The World's Grave, which we are going to be fighting more or less immediately. Sekapupu says no, he's not playing it at the moment. No worries, just wondering. There are a few friends who are doing this VIP Anthem demo today, and some of them are also streaming, so just literally wondering if anyone who's watching the channel is also doing Anthem tonight or today, or I should say during this weekend, because obviously the VIP demo is going to be lasting until Sunday night. So I'd be quite curious to hear from everyone or anyone who's doing the VIP demo on their experience of it. That's just really what I would like to know. The first-hand, account of what you've experienced in the Anthem world so far. Because I've experienced it through the world premiere of IGN yesterday, and I also had been trying to get the demo going, but technically something was not right, and therefore presently I still can't access it and play it. So hoping that this is going to be resolved, you know, by the end of this weekend. If not, obviously we are going to be cracking on as everyone else next weekend, starting on the February the 1st and ending on the February the 3rd. As you know, the Anthem demo is kind of constricted just to 3 days. It's time limited, and therefore if you're interested, if you want to try the game, if you want to really experience that distant Anthem world, then you have to join and play the demo during those 3 days, which means 25th, 26th and 27th of January for the VIP access if you pre-ordered the game, and for everyone else 1st, 2nd and 3rd of February. Alright, so we're in the orbit, we are ready to engage, so why don't we just simply crack on. So we do not have to go to Venus. Mars. Becoming War, Patrol Mars. No, these are not the ones. Old Russia. Not there. The Moon. I believe that is the one, the world's grave. That is correct. So, everyone stand by. Everyone stand by. We are proceeding to the Moon, Ocean of Storms, and we are going to be playing the mission called the World's Grave. So, 2 levels, easy and hard. We'll do easy first. I tried to jump gun yesterday by one of those and then had to replay it on another level. So why not start with easy and then proceed with hard if that is necessary.
There's got to be a way to find out what the Hive are planning. That ghost we recovered found a library in their fortress called the World's Grave. It's said to hold everything they know of Earth. If you can get us down there, I'll steal all I can.
There we are, proceeding to our destination. Let's get ready.
The World's Grave is deep in their fortress, but according to the ghost we found, there's an ancient knight who protects it. I can lead us to him, but you'll have to face him to find the grave.
There we are. We need to enter the High Fortress. So as you know, we'll try to ride our Sparrow and go up there, follow our radar, get to our destination. There are lots of enemies in there, as you know, they're hiding everywhere. And we're always more than ready to engage them all. Look at them. That resolves immediately. I want some ammunition. In fact, yesterday, for the first time, I used fusion rifle quite a lot. And the reason for that was that modifiers were requesting the use of arc weapons in the weekly story playlists as well as in the Nightfall Strike. So basically I used my arc weapon and it worked really well because that fusion rifle I have is very powerful and that was quite good. We have other enemies in there. He died as well. Well, that's good. Didn't expect that though. Yellow bar enemies are sometimes hard to kill. And these 3 scions in our Nightfall strike were almost impossible to kill. That was annoying. But you know, if you're doing your Nightfall strike, what's important is first of all to know exactly what you need to do. And then secondly, you need to have some really good experienced teammates. And therefore, the strike becomes somewhat easier to do. Or I should say easier to complete.
The hive really tore into the moon. Filled it with all sorts of chambers and catacombs.
Catacombs. After playing Titan and Warlock, I'm always surprised to see... I mean Hunter and Warlock, I'm always surprised to see there's a bit of Titan in here. In the gun. But there you are. That is your Titan outfit.
It's a whole necropolis down here.
Yeah, successfully neutralizing those. That's quite good. I'm now curious to see whether my super is going to do it. So let's see. Come close to them like that. And didn't really do anything good. A bit slow, I think I was. Did I get rid of that wizard? I think I did. Well, my fusion rifle and worked well, right? Enough. Well, as you could see, the wizard survived, which is really annoying. Because I thought my fusion rifle dealt with him. Perhaps this fusion rifle is a bit more useful than the previous ones I used, probably because it's so powerful. Matthias is here. Hello, how are you doing? Good to see you, sir. Did you get my messages? I sent you those tweets, which were crediting you for the bits and cheers, and also I sent you, I think, the one which is a screenshot of yourself, Ryan, and me finishing some of the strikes. I think that one's pretty good because all 3 of us, after those hard battles, are just seated and enjoying a moment of peace. Quite like that. How was your Resident Evil 2 stream? I couldn't watch it live, but I tried to access it on Twitch, but I couldn't really see it in there. I don't think Twitch archived it yet, as yet. I want to double check it earlier, you know, I want to see a bit of Oh, why is that? Matthias tells us that last night he tried to stream Resident Evil 2 remake and it was blocked in his region. Well, that is astonishing. Why on earth did they block streams? It's ridiculous. But you know, funny enough, I looked it up and I couldn't see anybody else from the US streaming either. I don't know why that is. I was quite curious to see how many people were doing streams of Resident Evil 2, but I couldn't see it on my contacts. I didn't really go through Twitch overall. So, I'm very sorry to hear that. But, you know, I tell you one thing. I've had some trouble with this sort of planning for pre-release demos, pre-release games, and, you know, you basically run a campaign live indicating that you are going to be doing a particular event. In this instance, obviously, it would have been your event, Resident Evil 2 remake. in my instance, there were several games previously, and then when you come to it, when you want to do it, there is a serious problem, and you can't do it. And you planned, you invited people, and you kind of worked for it. So I've become a bit apprehensive when it comes to those kinds of events, because everybody wants to see something which is brand new. I find it astonishing when I've seen how many people are doing VIP Anthem demo today. It's astonishing, so many people, and I couldn't access my demo. So, let's see what the messages are. Matt says he'll try again tonight, and he thinks it was region locked due to the fact it was available across the US at 12 EST, and it's technically before the release out west. So I think they're blocked for spoilers. Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely reason, streaming the arena at the same time. But I've seen today the number of people streaming that VIP Anthem demo is astonishing. It really is. Everyone on my contacts, there's so many people doing it. Matthias says streaming was the only issue, but I did play it for 4 hours. Fantastic. And tell us a bit about it. How did you find it? What was the game like? Was it as good as expected? Was it as good or better than the demo? Yeah, it's not really. So we are going to be continuing down here. More enemies. My dear friends, I have to hide a bit because ridiculous. What sort of weapon was that? And they're respawning in there, in other words, I guess. Gun in there. Okay. Okay, so that's resolved. That's pretty good. Something is hitting me as well, but I can't see what. Bear with us. We need to collect some of the bits. I thought it was going to be a major engram. Alright, so I'll hide here. Let me see what Matt said. Matt said they have changed it enough to feel like a brand new game. So there is a radical or dramatic change on Resident Evil 2 remake, which is making it look and smell really new. And he says it was obviously better than the demo, as you only have a small portion available in the demo. So it is as atmospheric, as scary, as eerie, and as claustrophobic as expected, I take it. Which is what we really wanted to see. The atmosphere is key. I talked about it earlier in my broadcast, you really feel that something's going to jump at you from everywhere, from the darkness, wherever you are. And I think that's really so amazing. I really like that in The Last of Us as well. There was this element of spatial sound where you really feel terrified. And the beginning of The Last of Us I thought was very, very good, before his daughter dies. And it's in fact really... was a major risk to take, I think, for Naughty Dog, because you really start the game looking through the eyes of this girl, and then she gets killed right at the beginning, and then you play another character. So definitely a very interesting, novel approach to the initial gameplay. You know, in there, like the game as well. You probably also played it, The Last of Us.
The night is near, and it's powerful. But this knight holds the key to finding the grave. We'll have to kill him.
Mattia says, I had a couple of scares, mainly due to the surprise lickers. Yeah, and I think when you have zombies or characters jumping out of the dark, then the sound's amplified as well. You know, it's like a, you know, the advert effect. Suddenly much louder and a lot more scary. And that's good. That's the idea behind the game, really. Were you doing it on your headset, or did you have your loudspeaker switched on? Because if you have your home cinema, or, you know, the surround sound, then it is very scary. But mind you, having it on a headset would be absolutely terrifying, particularly with the sound turned up. Mattia says headset for me. Yeah, headset is doing also a very good job when it comes to the atmosphere. There's one particularly good Turtle Beach set, which is providing the best possible Dolby Digital surround. And it's really, really, you know, precise to the minute detail there. I have one of those. It's really, really scary when you watch some of those horror games. Dead by Daylight. Resident Evil. Ah, look at that. Where's it gone? Why is it not dead yet? Matthias says he's using the PS Platinum headset. A very, very good one indeed. Yeah, the one I have is also Turtle Beach. And it's absolutely terrifying. Particularly if you increase the volume. The Walking Dead, quite terrifying. Left 4 Dead. Resident Evil. Dead by Daylight. The Last of Us. Just to name a few. Is he gonna die if I hit him with my super engine? Let's see. Oh, he did die. Well, it's a bit too close. Look at that. I hate those thralls. I absolutely do. And you know what? If the volume's up, they are terrifying too. I remember playing Mass Effect on my home cinema setup, and it was terrific. The atmosphere, the sound quality, and what really impressed me was when you swung a character left to right, the sound was actually moving around the room together with you. Oh, that was absolutely awesome. I bought recently Mass Effect Andromeda on the last day of those special January sales, and I bought it together with Dragon Age. Well, both are obviously BioWare games, both are Game of the Year editions, and really look forward to experiencing some of those as well. But at the moment there is little time, so you know, that's the trouble. I love Dragon Age. Don't know whether you played it, but really absolutely beautiful game. And have you played Divinity: The Original Sin? Matthias says, well, that's standard now with most sound systems. Yeah. I was just remembering that from 10 years ago, where this was something completely new. And, you know, a bit like what I said yesterday in my broadcast, when I did, on PlayStation 1, Silent Hill on the home cinema system with projector. And at the time, that was like really revolutionary. People, you know, have not seen this even in films. But today, it's it's yesterday's news. So, you know. But on the other hand, doing it on a very big screen, you know, when you wire up everything to your projector, is very atmospheric, you know? It really is. And the only thing which can, well, a slight problem is when you play games that have a lot of activity in dark rooms, in dark areas, even when you have a top-notch 20k, you know, £20,000 worth 4K projector, your picture is still going to be a bit darker and not as brightly lit as it would be on your 4K TV. And lots of these games are made especially for 4K TVs, so there's a slight discrepancy. And I guess if you are doing something which is competitive, then you might not be able to see the enemy when hiding, and you know, that sort of thing. But the experience of your game on a very large screen is astonishing. It literally raises the bar, and particularly for survival and horror games. Because I remember playing Silent Hill, and what was the other? There were several horror games, which Resident Evil as well, on that very big screen, and it was so terrifying. And then I watched it on my Sony TV, which was, I think at the time 30-inch, and it was a completely, well, I wouldn't say completely different experience, but you know, the element of scare was so greatly magnified when you watched it on the big screen. Matt says, I never really got into Dragon Age, sadly. Well, I would recommend it. And if you can get it on PlayStation, they're selling the original Dragon Age, the full pack with all DLC, with what's it called, Awakening, Dragon Age Awakening, I think it was called, the DLC pack. And definitely engage. It's a very, very good game. Really, it's a bit like Mass Effect brought into the Oblivion or Skyrim world, but I loved it. I really did. The only trouble lots of people had was that you have a team of 3, and you can control just one character, you know? So, but obviously an older game with a lot of good content. And what's interesting is that Dragon Age 1 is very funny. You have a lot of, you know, witty dialogue and interesting sort of comedic, semi-humorous situations, and that makes it really, really good. Just says, agreed. Also, when streaming, I find that I need to turn up the brightness to have the viewers see it better. I guess it depends on the system. It depends on what setup one has. I've seen sometimes that the games on streams could look fairly dark, and you know, depends on the setup really. I think overall it's fairly standard. I think if you're doing it on console, on Xbox or on, you know, PlayStation, there'd be less of discrepancy compared to PC. I think with the PC depends on the graphics card. I've heard today when watching that IGN World Premiere of Anthem VIP demo how they tested everything on Xbox X and Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro, and they said that they could really get absolutely staggering quality graphics, which obviously is truly believable. In fact, sometimes when watching such high quality graphics on your top-notch 4K TV, I find it even, particularly if you're doing it over a longer stretch, I find it even hurts my eyes a bit, you know. I always have to really turn down the backlight, because if it's very well backlit, then it really affects my brain badly. It really does. So I don't like it to be excessively bright, although I love bright images, but for the games it does really provide me with a different kind of neurological effect. No, he's gone, and that's important, because if you're respawning some doors and then God knows what else. There they are, look at them. They must have heard me. Honestly, they must have heard me. Look at them. Yeah, talking of which, it all depends on the game as well, you know. I find the games with kind of graphic novel type of graphics to be brighter, and they affect my brain more compared to those which are more realistic. And also I think if we are doing FPS like Call of Duty or so, or even we're doing PUBG, they also, when brightly lit, they're literally exposing bright greens, bright yellows, you know, bright reds, and they have quite an effect on brain, whilst the games which are with more realistic images don't have it. And I generally find that if I want to be having a good night's sleep, I always, at the end of a, let's say, lengthier battle in FPS, resort to maybe half an hour, 40 minutes of a lovely adventure game, and then I just literally feel very, you know, quiet, kind of eased off and ready for sleep. But playing Destiny wakes me up for certain, and particularly if one is doing those nightfall strikes or, you know, the Siva heroics, then that literally has a very severe effect on my serotonin. Even if I'm not excited, you know, it just does. It kind of wakes me up. Sometimes there are gamers coming here to my channel and they say, well, we sleep like 2 or 3 hours a night. And I said, my goodness, I couldn't survive like that. I need my 8 or 9 hours every day. Otherwise, I'm just completely useless in every way. So what am I doing? I'm just walking in a circle. I need to go somewhere, right? There we need to go. Look at that. These are there, waiting for us. You know, I really love everything audiovisual. I love photography. I love filming. I love graphic arts, I love video games, and I think, considering how everything is progressing, having a very high quality setup, which would basically include top-notch TV set or projector or monitor, obviously, for your PC, and then, you know, high quality graphics, really makes those graphics, you know, feel on a different level. They become mouth-watering. You really just want to be sitting there and watching them. They're so nice, and particularly some panoramic views and, you know, certain sections. They're beautiful, and particularly those games with exploring open world. Red Dead Redemption, for instance, with the Wild West, and Fallout, for instance, with Wasteland. So really, also Destiny 2, for instance, with some of the sections, are really absolutely wonderful the way they look. Can I hit him from here? Let's see. Where's he gone now? I can't shoot through here. Oh, that's disappointing. Oh, he's nearly dead. Which tells me my hand cannon is rather powerful.
This is the key to the grave. I know where we're headed.
That's pretty good. I remember the old days, you know, when I would buy the games for my PC, and lots of them had lots of bright green and yellow and red, and things have changed ever since. Have you played Gabriel Knight? Gabriel Knight Trilogy. I love the game. Really do. Really cool. The first one was very funny. And it was taking place in New Orleans. With all kinds of secret dark alleys and, you know, discoveries and Ouija boards and occult and God knows what. Matthew says, it should be good. You are about 360 light higher than required for that mission. Yeah, it seems like nice and easy. And the enemies are dying fast.
This should lead us right to the grave. The world's grave, not ours.
But it's enjoyable, you know, because with my Warlock, I did have to grind some of these missions quite a bit because my weapons were so weak. So we're just turning tables, right? I was really surprised with, you know, the number of people doing that DRB demo today. It seems like everyone pre-ordered. I don't think many people are subscribed to what's it called, EA Origin service. You know, the service which provides streaming of EA games. But it looks like everyone pre-ordered Anthem. So many streamers today. It's really surprising. But lots of people complained that they had difficulties in accessing the demo, and they had error messages, which is what I was getting as well. So I asked some of my friends to send me codes if, you know, if everything was hunky-dory with their setup. But then on the other hand, if we are patient, we all are going to be able to do exactly the same demo next week. And the Bioware producer Sila Costa said that all the guys doing it this weekend can keep the saves and then they can re-enter. But what really surprised me was the length of that demo. They said it was between 6 and 8 hours. So that is massive, you know, for a demo to be as long as that is quite rare, isn't it? It's a really good way of, you know, getting introduced to the game, for sure. Matt says, well, I must go back to work. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Well, thank you kindly, sir. Thank you. I certainly shall. We'll be streaming for quite a while still. And I really look forward to my, future missions with Titan. All looking very, very bright and rosy so far. Thank you for coming, and obviously thank you
That's
for
it. There it is.
letting me know about Resident Evil. And I hope that indeed you are going to be able to stream it tonight, and that restriction is now lifted. And then I hope to see you later. Or perhaps not if you are going to be streaming. But just like you said, it just sort of, it does sound like a really, really good game. After you played 4 hours and you said it was all together almost like a new game. So that's really rewarding for anyone who was the owner of the original. What do I need to do? Oh, I see. I need to use the key. Well, do I have the key though? That's the question. Oh, I have. Okay.
When I break in, they're going to come after us. Make sure you're ready.
Oh, I need to fight off the hive. What is going on? Well, that's no fun. Just from this side. Alright.
When I break in, they're going to come after us. Make sure you're ready.
I'm ready. Wizard. Hate that wizard.
There's so much broken efficiency.
So good to see that I'm so powerful. The big knight with that massive big axe can't even get to me. Just remember the headaches that those guys were giving me through my first gameplay. It's very, very considerable. Look at that. Oh, the headaches they gave me. Alright, that's all finished.
Okay, I've got it all.
So go back to the speaker.
There's unbelievable stuff in here. The Hive have seen thousands of worlds taken by the darkness, and they've been seeding Earth for centuries, waiting for their gods to return. I'll warn the city. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Let's. There we are. This is advancement. Activity rewards, kills 127, so that's not bad. Precision kills 40. I'm getting better every day. I think when I compare that to the same mission with my Warlock when I started out, well, there is a sharp difference, and this is what I like to see. You know, the idea is you learn every day. What is this now? Like a cut on the lead, which I use for my controller. And that really should not be happening because the controller is brand new. Okay, we have to go back to the tower. This is all finished. We've done yesterday weekly story playlist that was completed, and we've done the weekly Nightfall strike. So we just have Siva Crisis heroics. Maybe we do that a bit later on. We'll see. But we have plenty of story missions to do. So let's just carry on and do those. We need to go to the tower. Launch. Stand by, my friends, we are off to the tower. And there we are. We are proceeding to our destination, which is going to be the tower. And we talk to the speaker. We have a very warm day outside in London, but very cold at night again. Don't know what's happening. Quite curious to see what temperature is. So let's see, any engrams? Possibly. Not post. Lots of people are playing Destiny tonight. Look at that. Loads of people in here. That's great.
This looks interesting.
One engram.
Solid, Guardian.
Strange coin I got.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Package for Banshee. Oh dear.
Bounty tracker early on. Oh, I forgot about it.
Yes, Guardian.
Kills
Checking.
without taking damage.
Acknowledged.
Grenade kills. Arc weapon kills. Taken
Check.
defeated. 100 patrols as well. I really should have not dropped that patrol mission. I mean, the patrol bounty yesterday. I wasn't thinking.
Thank you.
My pleasure. I'll be back after another battle. So we did say that it was the speaker we had to speak to, right? So we'll go to the speaker. No, we'll go down here first. And find out if anyone else wants to. Oh, Eris Mon. Okay. So there'll be some difficult missions with Eris, I know. So we better go to the speaker and see what he has to say. Maybe he has another mission for us, maybe not. Maybe we'll just take up the one provided by Eris. We'll see. And there we are. But you know, I can't understand for the life of me. I've been here so many times and I never went down here.
Well, you can do it again.
That's just so silly.
Guardian, it's an honor.
Shader collection. What's the other shader collection in here? This one I don't have. Autumn Splendor. Okay. And just have a look at the shader I have currently on. Maybe a good idea to change it, right? Right. Yeah, why not? That looks really cool. Autumn Splendor, right. But also we can see Feud and Fading somehow. Ars Germanica. Surfbreaker. Well, that's about it. Collection 2, even that. My goodness, there's so many. Collection 3. Open character, let's see. Quite curious, there's lots of different shaders in here. Not been toying with shaders that much. But I quite like this one, Autumn Splendor. So we'll try this one. Oh, that's very good as well. Just a bit bright. Looks a bit camp though. And then Autumn Splendor, Irish Germanica. I quite like that one. Oh yeah, I like that one. Had this on the Hunter a lot. Hoarfrost. It's a bit too bright for my liking. Not too bad. Yeah, quite good as well. But what was the first one I used? Tristesse. Was it Tristesse or not? Or Surfbreaker? No, that's the one. Autumn Splendor. Yeah. I like that one. Autumn Splendor, I like the best. Okay, we'll keep Autumn Splendor on. Alright, so that's good. We'll have a look here at the emblems. Oh, there's a massive collection as well, my goodness. Loads of those in here. But I guess I acquired most of those, right? Connection 5. Okay. holiday items. I just had a message. I need to respond to that message. Let me just have a look. Thank you for your patience. I apologize for a bit of a waiting period, but just bear with us. Look to these. Access holiday items, what were they? Oh, I see the different types of masks, okay. This can be purchased from Ava. Okay, so just bear with us, we'll go and have a look in here. We'll look at the mountains for a moment. There, and we'll just take a moment of respite. I just want to be responding to some of the messages that have come in from my community members, so just bear with us. I apologize for a long wait, but I just need to be responding to those messages. They are Anthem related. As you know, I'm running a campaign and I've had some issues with that VIP demo, so bear with us. I just want to see whether that is being looked at and resolved. Alright, I've got some information there, so that will be helpful. And we'll have a look at that in a moment. But at the moment we are going to be looking at all that needs to be completed here with the traveler arrived, and then everything changed for the inhabitants of this planet. as you know. So let's speak to... Well, let's talk to the speaker. The speaker, voice of the traveler. Good evening, sir.
Your power is greater than when we last met.
Thank you most kindly, sire. Yes, yes, I feel it now. Everything is connected within the light, a sense shard of the traveler, bathed in darkness. Guardian, if they succeed in the task, if they complete the ritual, the traveler will fail, and our tale will end. Stop them, no matter what the cost. Okay, so we need to stop the enemy, otherwise they will succeed and the darkness will win, just as the speaker said.
Yes, very good.
So we have another mission. It's called Chamber of Night, and we are going to be doing this mission immediately. Okay, so we don't really need to...
There is still much to do and learn beyond this city.
I want to see the other items in there. Those ghosts are not necessary. Montezuma polyphonic. Automatic rifle. The automatic rifle. Titan marks. Scout rifles, pulse rifles, scout rifles, nothing for hand cannons. And what do I have here? Automatic rifles, automatic rifles. Okay.
There are many paths ahead of you, Guardian.
Thank you most kindly, sir. I'll be back after another hard battle. Fear God, honor the
Your
king.
ghost has served you well, it seems.
Put our enemies down. That's politics.
Alright, so we are going to have a good look again from here. And then we are going to be going up in the orbit. And we are going to be engaging the enemy in this mission. The mission is called Chamber of Night. And this is going to be again on the moon, so be ready for that. I need to take a very short break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then we are going to continue with this mission. So I'll be back in a moment, and until then you can have a cup of tea, have a biscuit, stretch a bit, take a moment of respite before we engage again with the enemies and provide you with lots of fearsome battles.
About the products, yes, and business. Okay, Vincent. Okay. Shouldn't be a problem. I can take care of that. Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. Right away. Yes, Zavala. I got the message. Okay, Ikora. Okay. You just worry about the products, yes, Fenchurch. Leave the business part to me. Cade wants what now? Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. I'll tell her. Shouldn't be a problem. I can take care of that. Right away. Yes, Zavala. I got the message. Okay, Ikora. Okay. You just worry about the products, yes, Fenchurch. Leave the business part to me. Cade wants what now? Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. I'll tell her. Shouldn't be a problem. can take care of that. Right away. Yes, Zavala. I got the message. Okay, Ikora. Okay. Just worry about the products, yes, Fenchurch. Leave the business part to me. Cade wants what now? Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. I'll tell her. Shouldn't be a problem. I can take care of that. Right away. Yes, Zavala. I got the message. Okay, Ikora. Okay. You just worry about the products, yes, Fenchurch. Leave the business part to me. Cade wants what now? Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. I'll tell her. Shouldn't be a problem. can take care of that. Right away. Yes, Zavala. I got the message. Okay, Ikora. Okay. You just worry about the products, yes, Fenchurch? Leave the business part to me. Cade wants what now? Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. I'll tell her. Shouldn't be a problem. I can take care of that. Right away. Yes, Zavala. I got the message. Okay, Ikora. Okay. Just worry about the products, yes, Fenchurch. Leave the business part to me. Cade wants what now? Okay, Fenchurch. Okay. I'll tell her.
I apologise for a longer wait, which you obviously had to endure here. I'm pleased to say it looks like I had finally resolved the issues with the VIP Anthem demo, and I'm hoping to be able to crack on with the demo straight away. So, somewhat unexpectedly, we are coming to the end of our Destiny broadcast, because as you know, I was very keen to have Anthem VIP demos streamed in here as well, and I'll just look into this more or less straight away. Should there be any technical issues or difficulties with the the key which I received and all else, then I'll come back to Destiny. If not, we'll carry on with our VIP demo testing of Anthem. So let's have a look and let's see what happens. Please, if you are here and if you're watching the channel, do rejoin me in about 10 minutes because Anthem will resume if everything is now resolved on the technical front. So I apologize for the delay and apologize for somewhat shorter broadcast on Destiny 1. But as you know, the weekend is to be, or was to be, dedicated to Anthem, and let's see whether everything has been resolved as expected. So one way or the other, I'll be back very, very shortly. And I thank you all for your patience, for watching the broadcast. Hope you enjoyed the firefights and hope you enjoyed the missions completed so far on my Titan. We are either going to then proceed with Anthem VIP demo, or we'll get back to our Destiny and continue with our Titan. We'll see very, very shortly whether all the technical issues have been resolved, and I'll be back in about 10 minutes. So until then, I wish you all a very, very good night.
Cade wants what now?